Stewart, you've been here 22 years. What made you choose East Rend in the first place?
I think from where I was an assistant back at Elton Park, then to Greenock Golf Club as a full professional, I was only there 3 years and the opportunity arose to apply for the job here. I do recall when I did apply for it, I think it was about 43 applicants, and I was the only applicant actually to make touch base with Gordon Clark, who was a professional for 18 years at the time, and Gordon didn't know me, so I thought, well, I need to go and speak to him or touch base. So I came to see Gordon, just introduce myself, try and find out a little bit about the club, obviously, and knowing how prestigious the club it is, it'd be a great place to become the professional, so I duly did. Apparently the only person to do that, which I was really surprised at, and lo and behold, a few weeks later they offered me the job, so I think I've been here ever since.
So it was a different place because demand for golf in 2000 was very high. How long did you have to wait to become a member at the time you joined here?
Well, when I came here in 2000, it was an 8-year waiting list to become a temporary limited member at that time, which allowed you to play at certain times. Now probably called associate member. It was also 10 years to become a full member, which is a long time to stay in a waiting list and then not play golf or maybe have to play elsewhere. That was for until 2008, from my recollection, till we hit the crash. And at that point, the waiting list was gone and you could walk straight in. So big changes in these 8 years, obviously. And then probably since then, we've got to a stage where we are now, I think from 2016, when the board was set up and marketing was set up as well, obviously the feel and the demand there was to get the membership back to where it was, sort of thing. And now in 2022, probably thanks to COVID, we're back to a good position again.
Organising events, I know what that's like. It's difficult to organise events. There have been periods when it's difficult to get people to play, but we seem to have come into a very different era altogether. Tell me about the range of your experiences with that.
Well, I've set up obviously my own charity day that I've now done for 15 years, I think it is now. We've raised a considerable amount of money for various charities. Along that way as well, obviously the role of the golf professional has changed obviously over these years as well. From when I first came, we were simply just here to be the club professional, playing, teaching, etc. But is now much more heavily involved with running events for the club, as you mentioned. Also various other things obviously from the marketing side. From the event side, obviously, not along with my Pro-Am, I think the change this year, with it being a centenary year as well, has been significant to seeing the opening event, obviously, the Pros Day, the Member Guest Day and the Assistant Pros Day all being double shotguns this year, opposed to every other year as far as I can recall. They've always been single shotguns or just running events. So the turnout this year has been exceptional, and I think that shows how much of an increase in golf since COVID has really taken us forward quite considerably as a club.
The calendar's been busier than ever because of the centenary year. Yeah. What events from that stand out for you, Stewart?
For me personally, I think probably the cross-country event, because it was probably the one I could actually participate in. Fortunate enough to play with Gavin and Ian, our club manager, on that day, and we had a great fun day. You know, I think out of anyone I spoke to after that day, the ones that probably felt disappointed were the ones that didn't get a chance to play in it for whatever reason. But and hopefully I think we're going ahead with it next year, which would be great if we do so. And
as for the future of the club, what are your wishes for East Renfrewshire?
To progress as we've been progressing. I think since the Board of Management's gone in place since 2016, and also the Council and Handicap obviously committee doing their job as well. I think just as a whole, I think all the staff, Ian coming on as club manager as well last year as well, who's been a joy to work with. I think as a whole, I think we're really working well as a club, and I think that's, for me, it's great how we gel together, and I think that progression will continue and hopefully many years to come.
Stewart, thanks very much.
Pleasure, thank you.